It all changes for silver. Check price last day of this week. Data will be released the last day of this week, and every time this happens, we see the price of silver reverse course. This is what you need to be looking for. I'm going to break this down because you're going to find yourself walking into a situation in which you are unprepared. I don't want you to be left behind. On the last day of this week, the U.S. unemployment and hourly wages report will be released, and this directly impacts the price of silver. This is the data that we need to be looking for. Now, this is from the website for the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it lists everything that is in the employment data that's coming out. Everything. It shows you that they're looking through race, sex, gender, age, right? It shows 25 years, and it's separated by educational attainment. It shows nativity. It shows, here, this is key. It shows part-time status. Now, I'm going to push back on mainstream media for this because we are constantly seeing in mainstream media that this data that we get from the Bureau of Labor Statistics is skewed because part-time workers are lumped in with full-time. That's not true. And if you're confused by that, please don't listen to these lies we get from mainstream media. Go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, bls.gov. You can see it right here. It shows you how this data is calculated. I'm telling you, this data is key to determining the move that we're going to see in the price of silver. So we really, as a silver stackers, if you're new to silver stacking, this is the data that we look at closely because it tells us where silver is going. Silver follows a pattern, and this is one of the key pieces that moves silver. It also shows, look, this explains it better. This is Investopedia.com, and they explain what you need to know about the employment report, right? So the BLS, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, releases the employment situation summary, better known as the jobs report, every month. And the report is based on surveys of households and employers. But more importantly, and this is, again, it's on Investopedia, this shows what's called the establishment survey. And this tells that the survey gathers 122,000 non-farm businesses. Keep that word in your mind, non-farm businesses, and government agencies from 666,000 work sites and about a third of all payroll workers. So it gathers all that information. And the other part that I need to push back on from mainstream media is that phrase non-farm workers, because we're constantly told that this data is skewed. This is mainstream media telling us everywhere. This data we get from the Bureau of Labor Statistics is skewed because migrant workers are thrown into that data, and it's not correct. Now, it says right here, and that's why they use the word non-farm, because it says farm workers are not included because of agricultural's seasonal nature. These migrant workers that are coming over, they're migrant workers. They're working on farms. They're not walking in and working in Target. They're working in farms. So this data is based on non-farm workers. Again, it says farm workers are not included because of agricultural seasonal nature. The sector's reliance on self-employment. They're not included because they do unpaid family work, and they're undocumented workers. So they're not included in the mix. The other moving piece that we get on Friday, and again, this is so key to where silver is going to move in price. This is the hourly wages report. And here again on Investopedia, they explain it really well. In fact, Investopedia breaks this down, this hourly wages report, by all the different sectors. It goes through utilities, mining, people working in financial services, professional business services, wholesale. It breaks down everything: construction, manufacturing, education, retail, leisure and hospitality, transportation. I mean, it's got it all listed, everything. And that they look through all that, and that's like the hourly wages. Now, what happens, and what we're going to see on Friday, is that first you're going to see Wall Street move. Wall Street will typically move a day before, actually. They'll probably make their move Thursday. And if not, we'll see them move Friday because they know this data is coming out. And they know this data impacts how people think, and therefore it impacts how people are going to start spending. So what happens for silver is there's a lag. Just the way there's a lag when gold moves in price, we see a lag for silver. It's the same. When gold jumped up in price 8 to 10 weeks ago, when it made that first big jump up, silver had a lag of about 3 to 4 weeks. That's typically what happens. So the same is for this. So if we don't see a move by Wall Street on Thursday, then we'll see it on Friday, and silver will follow. So this, if you're new to silver stacking, this is the data that we need to be looking at. This tells us where the price of silver is is going. Silver follows a pattern. And when you understand the pattern, you know what you're doing. So I don't want you walking into a situation in which you're unprepared. This is exactly what we need to be looking at. And this is all at your fingertips. Everything that I just went over in this video, this is all, you go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, you go to Investopedia, it explains everything for you. So when we see exactly how the economy is doing and how it's going to move, we can see how silver moves. And we're going to see this play out. Check the price of silver on Friday.